Let's go through this step by
Khalifa,
step.
mantan
How
bintang
did
film porno,
a girl
Saya
who was
Merasa
brought by her parents to the
Dimanipulasi,
United States from
dipublikasikan
Lebanon, your home
oleh Trend
country,
News,
schooled in the United States,
memanipulasi
clearly
saya
smart,
untuk
went to
melakukan apa
university
yang
in Texas,
mereka
read
ingin
history.
saya lakukan.
How did you
Saya berjuang
get
sepanjang masa
involved
kecil saya
with
dengan berat dan
the
saya
sex
tidak
porn
pernah merasa
industry?
menarik atau
I don't
layak
think low
perhatian
self-esteem
laki-laki dan
discriminates against
tiba-tiba
anyone. It doesn't
kuliah
matter
tahun
if you
pertama
come from a great
saya
family or
mulai
if you come
kehilangan semua
from
berat
a
ini.
not so great background.
Pada saat saya
I
lulus, saya
struggled
siap
my
untuk
entire
membuat
childhood with
perbedaan yang
weight,
lebih besar.
and
Saya
I never
merasa
felt
sangat sadar diri
attractive
tentang
or
payudara saya
worthy of
karena
male
itu
attention.
adalah hal pertama
And
yang harus
suddenly,
saya
my
lakukan
first
ketika
year of
saya
college, I
kehilangan
start
semua
losing
berat
all
badan
this
dan
weight from
sekali
making
saya
small
melakukan
changes.
itu,
And
saya
by the time I
katakan dari
graduated,
pria setelah merasakan
I was ready to
seperti
make
apa
a bigger
validasi
difference. I
itu
felt
dan Anda tahu
extremely
pujian
self-conscious
untuk
about my
yang
breasts
pertama
because
waktu
that was the
saya
first
tidak
thing to
ingin
go when I
itu
lost all the
pergi.
weight. I lost about 50 pounds. I don't
Memanipulasi
know how many
saya
kilos
untuk
that is, or
melakukan apa
stones.
yang mereka ingin saya
Well,
lakukan.
it's a considerable
Saya
amount of
tidak
weight.
benar-benar
It's changed
melihat
your
diri
body, changed
saya
you physically.
sebagai
Completely.
seorang
So
korban.
my biggest
Saya
insecurity was
tidak
my
suka
breasts.
kata
So I
itu,
wanted
yang membuat
to
keputusan
more or less
saya
go back to what
sendiri,
they normally were.
meskipun itu adalah
And once I
keputusan
did that, I
persetujuan yang
started garnering all of
mengerikan.
this attention
Tidak ada
from
artinya dalam
men, and
dinamika
I was never
kekuatan
used to it.
antara
And I felt
laki-laki
like
kebanyakan yang
unless
mengendalikan
I
orang miskin
held on to it
perlahan-lahan
and
ketika
kind
ada
of
4 produsen pria
did what
kulit
was asked
putih
of
di
me or what
ruangan
was
itu
expected
dan
of me,
Anda
it would go
mengatakan
away.
sesuatu
And
seperti itu
after
kepada
feeling what
mereka
it was
dan
like, that
mereka semua
validation
hanya
and,
tertawa.
you know, the
Maksudku
compliments
itu
for the
agak
first time,
menghancurkan
I did
dan
not
itu
want that to
membuat
go
Anda
away.
tidak ingin berbicara dan
You
berkata
were
apa-apa
spotted,
lagi
I
ketika
think, on
Anda
the street. I mean,
berjalan
there you were.
keluar
You were
dari
a
area
young
syuting
graduate
pada
wanting
akhir
to
yang
sort of
terus
find a
ketika
job,
Anda panas
and
tahu
you were
ini
spotted
akan
on the
menjadi
street
tidak
by a guy
bodoh
who
itu
said, I
menghancurkan
can
seluruh dunia saya.
work with
Alasan
you,
saya pikir
and
tidak
clearly
apa-apa
he
bagi saya untuk
opened up and
melakukan
said
P
it's the
adalah
porn
karena
business.
saya berpikir dan tidak
What
ada
was
yang
it in
akan
you that
mengetahuinya.
far from
Ada
running away
jutaan gadis
was
yang
drawn into it?
memfilmkan dirinya berhubungan
It
seks.
wasn't.
Dua hal seperti itu
That's
dan
not how it
tidak
was. It
ada
wasn't
yang
just,
tahu
hey, do you
nama
want to come
mereka,
do
tidak
porn? It
ada
was
yang
more
tahu
so,
siapa
oh, you're
mereka, tidak
beautiful.
ada
Like,
yang
would you like
mengenali
to do some
mereka sehingga
modeling?
dia
Oh,
ingin
you
melakukannya
have a
sebagai
great body.
saya
Like, I think
rahasia
you'd be great
kecil
nude
yang kotor,
modeling.
tapi itu
Things like that.
menghancurkanmu.
And after I came and toured
Di
the
wajah
studio,
saya
you know,
dan
it was
membaca
very
kata-kata
respectable. It
dari
was a
beberapa
gorgeous
gadis yang
location. It
telah
was
diperdagangkan
in
seks dan
Miami, in
dipaksa
Doral,
menjadi
Florida.
gadis miskin dengan
It
kontrak
was
slide bahwa
clean.
mereka tidak
Everyone who
mengerti
worked there
jargon
was
itu
nice. All
membuat
of their
saya
cubicles
merasa
were
seperti oke
decorated with family
mungkin itu
photos. Like,
baik
it was
bahwa
nothing
saya mulai
dodgy
berbicara dan
or
bahwa
that
saya
made me
memposting
uncomfortable.
wawancara
And
ini dan bahwa
after
saya
like
berbicara orang
the first
lain
time I went in
merasakan
wasn't the
hal
first
yang sama
time
dan bahkan jika
I filmed
mereka
a
tidak
porn
berhubungan pada
movie.
tingkat sedalam yang Anda tahu melakukan.
It was the second time.
Mereka
The
dapat
first time was
berhubungan
more
pada
so,
tingkat tidak
do you
aman
want
dan
to do this?
ditekan
Like,
untuk
sign the
melakukan
paperwork,
sesuatu
etc.,
yang bukan
etc.
tangga
These guys,
saya.
they just
Saya
saw
merasa
you,
seperti
frankly,
orang
as a
dapat
money
melihat
machine.
dan
Absolutely.
membawa saya. Itu
But you still
membuat
had no
saya
advisors,
merasa
you had no
seperti itu
lawyer, you
membuat
had no
saya
nothing.
merasa
So
seperti
What
saya
21-year-old
kehilangan
has a
semua
lawyer on
hak
retainer?
privasi saya, tapi itu sangat sulit
I'm just
bagi
trying to
saya
get my
untuk
head
berkencan
around
setelah dan
how
saya tidak berpikir
stressful
itu sulit
this
bagi
must have
saya
been, and
untuk
whether even
berkencan
now,
karena
because you sit
sulit
here
untuk
so poised
menemukan
and
seorang
obviously a
pria
lot of
itu
time has
sulit
passed and you've
menemukan
moved on,
seseorang
but
yang
do
tidak
you think
suka.
there is
Saya
some
sangat
sort of
beruntung bertemu dengan seorang
post-traumatic
pria yang
stress
bahkan
that
tidak
is
pernah
in you
mendengar
from
tentang
this
saya yang
experience?
Yes,
fantastis.
and I think it kicks
Dilansir dari
in mostly
BBC
when I go
News
out in public
Indonesia.
because the stares I get, I feel like people can see through my clothes, and it brings me deep shame. It makes me feel like I lost all right to my privacy, which I did because I'm one Google search away.
Yeah. And those images you cannot expunge.
No.
You have no right, even though it is deeply personal to you, you have no right to remove them from anybody's view around the world.
Yeah.
It is very hard.
It is.
And I'm just thinking, this isn't, I mean, this story is your story, but frankly, it's also the story of other porn actors and actresses.
I honestly started seeing that recently after the interview came out, and people started reaching out, and all of the emails go, my manager checks them, and when he gets stuff like that, he filters them and sends them to me. And reading the words of some of these girls who have been sex trafficked and forced into porn, and all of these stories of girls whose lives have been ruined by it, and by men who have taken advantage of them, and by contracts that they didn't even understand the jargon of, it makes me feel like, okay, maybe it was good that I started talking and that I posted this interview and that I'm speaking out now, because other people feel the same way. And even if they don't relate on as deep a level as, doing porn, they can relate on the level of being insecure and being pressured into doing something they didn't want to do.
You were wearing the Islamic headscarf, often known as hijab, and of course then it developed into a sort of a sex scene. You must have known how provocative that was.
I verbatim told them, "You guys are going to get me killed."
And they said?
They just laughed.
Why didn't you then say, "I'm not doing it"?
Intimidation. I was scared.
But
I knew that if I said no, it would, you know, they're not going to force you to do it. At that point, that's rape. No one's going to force you to have sex. But I was still scared. I mean, have you ever felt scared not scared, but nervous to speak up and say something at a restaurant when your food's not right and the waiter comes by and says, "How is everything?" I was intimidated. I was nervous.
we interview a lot of people, and many of them are middle-aged or older. It's great to have somebody in the studio who's only 26 years old. There is a school of thought which says that our culture as a whole, I'm not just talking about the United States or the UK, but many, many countries, is being pornified, and that young people in particular are so exposed to pornography, so young in their lives, that it's materially changing the way males and females relate to each other, the way they think about relationships, in a potentially very corrosive, damaging way. What's your take on that?
Of course it affects relationships. Porn addiction is very prevalent in America, and I'm sure here too. The things that men see in videos, they expect from the women in their lives, and that's just not reality. No one is going to be that perfect. No one is going to do those acts on a Wednesday night with the person they love.